You're watching the Yes Network, the home of champions.
The reinforcements are on their way. Andy Pettitte had a good bullpen session today, threw very hard and felt no pain whatsoever. And Alex Rodriguez was in the cage, and he could be back in the lineup on Sunday. Kia Motors presents the Wednesday game of the week. The defending world champion New York Yankees against the Oakland Athletics in the third game of a four-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees Baseball, along with John Flaherty. I'm Michael Kay. The first two games of this series, it's been all Yankees. Their offense has exploded, especially two of their big switch hitters.
In the middle of the lineup, Mark Teixeira really getting the job done after missing a game in Chicago with a bone bruise, swinging a red-hot bat. Home run number 30 last night into the second deck got the Yankees going, and then Nick Swisher, who's been doing it all year, gets the green light on a 3-0 count, gets a fastball right down the middle, and he does exactly what you're supposed to do. Home run number 25. Impressive there. Joe Girardi giving him the green light, and he took advantage.
The 3-5 hitters in the Yankee lineup in this series off the charts. Teixeira's 5 for 6, 2 homers, 4 ribbies, and 5 runs scored. Swisher hitting .500 with 2 doubles, a home run, 5 ribbies, and 3 runs scored. That's just part of the offense.
Well, the Yankee offense all the way through the lineup, I guess, except Derek Jeter's been swinging the bat, and you see 11 runs, 9 runs last night, 13 hits, 9 hits. What's impressive, the home runs, but also doing it against some good pitching. Cahill and Mazzaro for the Oakland A's have been throwing the ball well. The Yankees did not show them any mercy.
And with that victory last night, coupled with the Rays loss, the Yankees are in sole possession of first place for the first time in 9 days. The Rays are a game back, and the Red Sox are 8 back. So the Yankees try to build on that lead now, and they'll send out A.J. Burnett. They have to straighten A.J. Burnett out for this stretch run as well. What's been the deal with A.J.? When we come back on segment 2, John Flaherty will try to give us some answers. Against the A's, let's look at the New York Lottery pitching matchup. Brett Anderson will go for the A's, 3-5 with a good ERA. A.J. Burnett for the Yankees, enigmatic to say the least, 9-12 with a 5.17. John, I turn to you and I go, what's up with A.J.?
You know, with A.J., it's not mechanical. It's not physical. His arm is healthy. Obviously, control is sometimes a problem. He has hit 14 batters. That leads the major leagues. But right now, just a lot of pitches down the middle, fastballs down the middle, rolling curveballs don't have a lot of bite. If you're A.J. Burnett, don't think about mechanics. Just go out there and compete, and you hope you're going to have a better September.
Well, better. What he'd like to have is a month like he had in July. Look what he did in June. 0-5, 11.35. Then this month, or the past month, 0-4 in August, 7.80. But then in July, 3-1, 2.00. So try to figure him out. The Yankees hope it's good, bad, good, bad. That means he's going to have a pretty good September. Nick Swisher's had a pretty good season. I'll tell you that. He has been bashing the ball. Yankees lineup, first pitch, baseball next, coming up on Yes. Maximum Pepsi taste by Raymore and Flanagan, furnishing your style with a guaranteed delivery of 3 days or less. And by IOTV. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV. Another hot day here in New York City. Going to be a hot and humid evening. The crowd is filing in to the stadium. The Yankees have taken the field. And we're going to take a look at the A's starting lineup, which is presented, as always, by our good friends at Lexus. The A's come in one game under 500 at 65 and 66. They lead off their center fielder, Coco Crisp. Darren Barton, who walks a lot, will be at first base, batting second. Batting third and catching, Kurt Suzuki. Jack Cuss, the DH, will clean up. Batting fifth and playing third base, Kevin Kuzmanov. Mark Ellis at second base will bat sixth. The number 7 hitter, left fielder Jeff Larish. Rajay Davis in right field is going to bat eighth. Batting ninth and playing shortstop, Cliff Pennington.
That Oakland A lineup going to go to work against right-hander AT Burnett, who did not have a good month of August. We'll take a look at his numbers for the year. Below 500, 9-12, ERA over 5, 5.17, 166 hits and 151 in the third innings. Take a look at the scouting report. If you're AJ Burnett, you have to turn the page. Forget about August when you went 0-4 with a 7.8. Look forward to September, and it's about time to start seeing some results. The Yankees in a playoff run here, getting to the postseason, trying to feel good about their rotation, and you just have to make it happen. It is not mechanical. He doesn't have a dead arm. He's just got to go out there at this point in the season and compete and find a way to win a ball game.
All right, let's take a look at the Athletics or the Yankees defense, brought to you by Mercedes. In the outfield, Kearns, Granderson, and Swisher, that's left to right. Infield, Nunez, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira, that's third to first. Cervelli is behind the plate, and Alan James Burnett is on the mound. So we are ready for baseball here at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Third game of a 4-game set. Third game of a 10-game homestand for the Yankees, their longest homestand of the year. Crisp is ready. Burnett is ready. And let's do it here in the Bronx as the veteran right-hander deals a strike, and we are underway.
Well, I mentioned with A.J. Burnett, it's not mechanical. He's not going through a dead arm. You talked to Dave Island, the pitching coach, said his bullpens are outstanding. Now it's about time. Just take it out onto the field and compete. Try to find a way to win a ball game.
There's a strike. And the count is 0-2. That's why you don't give up on A.J. Burnett, though, because the stuff is there, and all he has to do is find his location, and he becomes an effective pitcher again. Count 1-2.
You know, like any other player on this field, any other major leaguers, Doug Eddings said that Chris did not swing. It's all about confidence. You get in that good rhythm, you take the mound, you feel like there's no way you're going to lose a ball game. Right now, when AJ takes the mound, there's some doubts. I'm sure Derek Jeter not swinging the bat 100%. There's some doubts. He's got to find a way to get it done.
And the 1-2. Fastball inside. Count 2-2. There's Derek fighting a slump of his own. Derek won for his last 25. Made a great play defensively last night. The 2-2 is up and away. 3-2.
AJ needs a win. Derek Jeter needs a little confidence knock. One of those hits to get him going, get on a hot streak.
Here's the payoff from Burnett. Fouled away. Now it's imperative against a guy like Crisp that Burnett gets him, because Crisp steals bases and Burnett is not good at holding runners on as a high leg kick. And that's something that's been taken advantage of recently.
And you can take it a step further. Got ahead in the count 0-2. Now all of a sudden it's 3-2, and you talk about negative thoughts maybe creeping in there. I was ahead. What happened? Be a nice first out if you can get it.
He gets it. Strike three, right down the middle. Crisp down looking. Let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. Been in the 90s all day. Right now 88 degrees, 42% humidity. The winds out of the south-southeast at 9 miles per hour. On the forecast, warm and clear. That's going to bring up Derek Barton, who has 88 walks this year. And that's why he has a 397 on base percentage to go along with that 281 average. Missed outside. 95 mile an hour fastball.
It was a good way to finish off the at-bat. A little two-seamer, supposed to be inside. It runs to the middle of the plate and freezes Coco Crisp. Good start for AJ Burnett.
Missed outside. The count 2-0.
It should be a good matchup for AJ as well. We've been talking for 2 days. The A's do not hit a lot of home runs. See, Barton walks a lot. Really not a lot of power. They run more than they used to. It should be a good matchup for AJ Burnett.
Count 3-0. And the pitch. And he walks Barton on 4 pitches. So strikes out Crisp looking. And now Barton moves to first base, his 89th walk of the year, and that leads the American League. That's going to bring up Kurt Suzuki. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. Burnett had a previous start against the A's this year and did well. 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Nice block there by Cervelli. If you look at some of the numbers, if you look inside the numbers that AJ Burnett has, they really blow you away because he's so good stuff-wise. He's allowed 6 earned runs or more in 9 starts this year. That's 3 more times than the entire Yankee pitching staff combined. And let's move away from the Yankees, because they have the best record in baseball. That's 3 more times than any pitcher in baseball. And this is a guy with electric stuff. That's why it's so frustrating.
The frustrating part is when AJ comes out of the bullpen in his warm-ups and he has it, it's going to be a dominating performance. But then on the flip side, when he doesn't have it, it's going to be a short outing.
Line drive to left field. It's a base hit. Austin Kearns fields. He'll get the ball in, and the A's have runners on first and second with 1 out.
Take another look at the fastball, and again, it's a two-seamer that runs down and into Suzuki. Does a nice job getting the bat head to it, lining it into left field. Here you go again for AJ Burnett. I mean, this first inning can really tell you what this ball game is going to be like for him. Can he work his way out of some trouble? Make a big pitch when he has to. It's all about confidence with AJ at this point.
Here's Jack Cust. Cust 2 for 16 lifetime against AJ Burnett. Another good on base percentage, closing in on 400 from Flemington, New Jersey. Tries to tie him up inside with the fastball. Count 1-0.
You see AJ giving a little look to Dana DeMuth behind the plate. A pretty good fastball inside. Did not get the call. Even though it was off the plate inside, that's a good sign for AJ when he can keep that fastball on the inner half, keep it true. Usually means he's in pretty good shape mechanically.
There's a strike. Now, we told you about the 2 for 16. One of the two, a home run. Another strike. Count 1-2.
Pretty good backdoor curveball there from A.J. Burnett. Gets ahead in the count 1-2. It's not that big curveball that we've seen earlier in the year. A little tighter. Drops it on the outside half. Good pitch.
Pitch inside. If you ever get a chance to meet A.J. Burnett, it's hard not to root for him. He's a good guy. He's self-deprecating, introspective, fun to talk to. And he's not, I think he almost gives off a different demeanor, his look. But he's not like that at all. He's actually a real sweet guy, and you want to see him do well.
Sometimes when you watch him pitch, though, you would question if you don't know him. Right. Is he competing? Because he has the same mechanics. He doesn't really show a whole lot of frustration out there, and he's competing just as hard as anybody else. He just doesn't show it a lot out there.
The 2-2. Strike 3. Good pitch on the inside part of the plate. Cust down looking.
Well, Jack Cust isn't going to like it, but this usually tells you that AJ is in pretty good shape when he can keep a fastball inside and keep it pretty true. Gets a big call third strike to Jack Cust. Dangerous Jack Cust, maybe off the plate a little bit.
So 2 down, and that'll bring up Kuzmanov. Runners on first and second. Just underway here at the stadium. We thank you for joining us here on Yes. And AJ's going to work a scoreless first inning. That one is lofted to Swisher. He'll put it away, and that will do it. No runs in, no errors, and 2 men left. It's the Athletics nothing, and the New York Yankees coming to bat. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, leads off. Batting second to playing right field, Nick Swisher. Mark Teixeira is the first baseman. He'll bat third. Cleaning up and playing second base, Robinson Cano. Marcus Thames, the DH, will bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing left field, Austin Kearns. Curtis Granderson in center field will bat seventh. The number 8 hitter, third baseman, Eduardo Nunez. And Francisco Cervelli, the catcher, will bat ninth.
The Yankees are going to face a good young left-hander in Brett Anderson. Take a look at his numbers. The ERA is pretty impressive. One of those guys not getting a lot of run support. 3-5, but a 3.32. Only 12 walks in 65 innings. We'll look at our scouting report. He has been on the disabled list twice already with elbow problems. And a power lefty who's got a good fastball, about 92, 93, and a power slider. He's looking for a little help. I mentioned he's the guy in the rotation the A's just are not scoring a lot of runs for, only 2.49 runs per game.
Pitch to Jeter is inside.
Yes, if you think about it, the A's really haven't been scoring a lot of runs for any of their starting pitchers, but it seems like Anderson, the one on the short end of the stick.
Ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. So Derek breaks an 0 for 12 slide, 1 for 25 and 2 for 30 with a leadoff single.
Sure, a little sigh of relief for Derek Jeter, and does what he does best, right back up the middle or the other way. About 3, 4, 5 hopper right back up the middle. A little confidence knock for Derek Jeter. Now you look forward to the rest of the ballgame.
Now here's Nick Swisher. Swisher 9 hits in his last 19 at bats. He has the average up to 297. Derek kind of stutter stepped toward second and then stopped. Don't know if he misread the move or whether his intention was to go.
We'll see. Maybe you never know if the Yankees have a scouting report that they can pick something up on Anderson and his move. I'm sure Bob Guerin, the manager of the Oakland A's, will be watching carefully. Anderson left his last start after 2 innings, a hyperextended right knee. Bob Guerin had to take him out of that ball game. See how he reacts tonight.
Bob Guerin, former Yankee, was a catcher during the tough years here with the Yankees in the Bronx. Very close with A's general manager Billy Beane, managing their minor league system, and now their big league skipper. Tied up. Did he go? No, he did not. Said C.B. Buckner. Two balls, 2 strikes. 5 seasons as a player for the Yankees. AAA manager for 3. A's coach, and then he's been their manager since the 07 season.
Teammate of mine he was coming down from the big leagues. I was on my way up to the big leagues with the Red Sox in the minor leagues, and not a better catcher as far as knowing how to run a pitching staff, call a game, run into a fastball every now and again, but it's not a surprise he's a successful big league manager.
I also think he was Billy Beane's best man at his wedding. That's
pretty good.
Yeah.
Nick Swisher's getting a good look at Anderson and why he is tough. He's thrown a couple of fastballs inside, good tight sliders down and in. Pretty dominant against lefties, but he's also a tough at bat for a right-hander.
Swing and a miss. Swisher down on strikes. Here's red hot Mark Teixeira. Since Alex Rodriguez went on the DL, Mark is 12 for 27. That's 444 with 3 homers and 7 ribbies. And since June 8th, in 72 games, he's raised his average from 211 to 264.
Impressive last night, getting on top of a fastball, home run number 30 to the second deck in right field.
That one is driven deep to left center field. Giving chase is crisp. He's going to have to play it up against the wall. Plays the carry. Jeter rounds third. He'll score. And Mark Teixeira continues to rate an RBI double. And the Yankees lead 1-0.
It doesn't seem to matter if he's hitting left-handed like he was last night with his 30th home run, or right-handed here. Fastball that's pretty much on the inside corner. That's pretty impressive, being able to take care of that and drive it to left center. And an easy base running play for Derek Jeter. It's right in front of him. He gets a good look. No need to even look at the third base coach, Robbie Thompson. He's going to score easily. Not a bad pitch by Brett Anderson, and Mark Teixeira took care of it.
96 ribbies now for Teixeira. He's now 6 for his last 7 with 5 runs batted in. Had a great series here against the A's. So 1 run in, runner at second and 1 out. Here is Cano. Ties him up. Checks his swing. Let's take it the Coors Light freeze cam.
That's nice right there. Like a head down on the ball, bat head extension. Nice torque against that front leg.
A 1-0. 2-0.
Michael, the Yankees have been swinging a hot bat in this series, and the Oakland A's came in here. I mean, they got a great starting rotation. Young with impressive numbers. Cahill in the Cy Young conversation. They beat him up the first night. Mazzaro last night.
Fouled away.
The A's are a little surprised that the Yankees have done to them what they have in this series. 3.57 best in the American League in this series. Not very impressive. Over 10.
Kurt Young, the pitching coach, probably wondering what's going on. Not the staff that he brought into New York. The 2-1. 3-1. Cano, 13 home runs and 36 runs batted in against left-handed pitching.
Marcus Timms on deck, has been red hot. Had a tough night last night, but swinging a hot bat. We'll see if Anderson comes right at Robinson Cano, a 3-1 count.
Hot shot to short, grabbed there by Pennington. He fires to third, and they get Teixeira trying to advance. Robinson Cano walking out the field, thought he was out. Now he's told by Mick Keller to get back to first.
Robinson Cano does everything right. Pennington makes a nice play to his right and a quick throw to Kuzminoff to get Mark Teixeira. You're base running, you're taught if the ball is to your right, you probably shouldn't go, but a great play by Pennington. Strong throw right on the bag to Kuzminoff.
And then for some reason, Cano thought he was out as he made a right-hand turn at first base and headed to the dugout. Would have been the third out if he was out. Timms fouls it back. Is that a hard read there for Teixeira because it's kind of behind him?
You know what? It's kind of to his right. Although they say if the ball's hit to your right or behind you, if it's hit to your left, you'll go to third. If it's hit to your right, then you should stay at second. But that ball was hit so hard, and the key is knowing where the shortstop is behind you, and that's a tough part. Because you'll take your lead and you're peeking behind you to see where he is, and then you're not 100% sure if that's where he is, and you can see it's hit right at him.
And technically it was just to his left because he took off when the ball was hit. So,
but like I said, the hard part is realizing where the shortstop is behind you when you're taking your lead. It's a tough read. Ball was hit hard.
(1-1) to Timms. Strike. Dana Demuth, the home plate umpire. One 0 Yankees just underway here at the stadium on a Wednesday evening. Let's check out the A's defense, brought to you by Mercedes. Got Laris, Crispin, Davis in the outfield left to right. Infield, Kuzminoff, Pennington, Ellis, and Barton third to first. Suzuki behind the plate. Brett Anderson is on the mound. High fly ball. Fairly shallow left center. Coco Crisp is there, and he'll put it away for the final out. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We played 1. It's 1-0 Yankees. September the best month for sports? You can text us at 58772, and standard text messaging rates apply. Your choices are yes or no. Yes or no. Baseball pennant races. Football begins. College football this weekend. U.S. Open. Tennis. You decide. There's a strike to Mark Ellis. The 0-1. 1-1. Ellis has been slumping of late. 23 hits in his last 119 at bats. Not good. Nubs that one foul. You know, the A's come in here and they have an opportunity. Yesterday, Texas Rangers lost, and they need to pick up ground whenever they can. Punch the other way and a foul ball. John, how do you explain the month of August that Cliff Lee had?
You know, I was actually talking to Joe Girardi about that today. But he missed time at the beginning of the year, but his innings right now are through the roof. I mean, every time he goes out there is 8 or 9 innings, and you got to believe maybe the heat in Texas starting to take effect. Having a tough month. And they're a different ball club now when you start thinking that their #1 guy is struggling down the stretch.
Swing and a miss, and Ellis down on strikes. Stay tuned during the 6th inning for a message from our friends at the Fox Business Network.
Nice strikeout for A.J. Burnett right there. And interesting, he goes with a changeup to the right-hander. Not used to seeing that. You see Ellis gives a little look. It's usually fastball slurve to the right. He's a good changeup. Maybe gaining a little confidence in that pitch.
Well, that was a pitch he worked on a lot in spring training, but really hasn't used it that much. Here's Jeff Larish. 95-mile-an-hour fastball, a bit low.
You know, Michael, the fear is when you have a third or a fourth best pitch, you don't want to get beat on it, because then you start second guessing yourself, and that's why that jumped out at me there. If he can have some success early with that changeup and gain confidence, it'll be a nice weapon.
Good fastball up in the zone. Larish swings through.
Do you get the feeling that AJ's kind of tired about, talking about his struggles lately? Some of the things you read in the paper, a little short with the media lately.
You know what? I think he just doesn't have any answers, John. So it maybe comes off that way. I mean, he gives you the time that you need, but if he had the answers, I don't think he'd be struggling like this. He's probably tired of saying the same thing.
You know, like Dave Island told me today, we work in the bullpen. Everything's fine.
Fine right there as Larish goes down on strikes. 4 strikeouts for AJ.
Yeah, and a nice rhythm now. He's got that slurve working down and in. Like Dave Island said, the work in the bullpen is fine. Everything's good. He's got to take it out to the mound, and it looks like early on, 4 strikeouts. Everything looks pretty good.
Here's Rajai Davis. Popped up, shallow right, coming on Swisher, and that's an easy 1-2-3 inning for A.J. Burnett, who has retired 5 in a row. And a 10-pitch inning as we go to the bottom of the 2nd. Tom Trush hits a home run from both sides of the plate, and Mickey Mantle adds a pinch hit home run in a 5-4 win against the Orioles back in 1963. Demand greatness in every sip and every season. Johnny Walker, proud sponsor of the New York Yankees. There's Austin Kearns. He wants to snap out of a little slide he's in. He's 0 for his last 18. And that's on the heels of an 11-game hitting streak, and that's what this game is. It's frustrating. Ups and downs. Count 0-2.
Good swing there, and he got a fastball to hit and fouled it straight off. You know, talking to Kevin Long, the hitting instructor, about Derek Jeter, he said it's a combination. Fouling some pitches off he should hit, also expanding the strike zone, swinging at some balls off the plate. And that's usually the difference between a hot streak and a slump.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Took something off that. Kearns goes down on strikes.
Well, it's a combination. Fastballs in at about 92, 93, and then you drop a little slider down and in. When he is right, when he is healthy, he's going to be a tough young pitcher.
Here's Curtis Granderson. Line drive, base hit over the lunge of Pennington. So Granderson with a single.
When Robinson Cano makes it look so easy going the other way against left-handers, but when Curtis Granderson does it, it really jumps out at you because he really didn't do this the first half. Staying on a fastball, driving it right over Pennington's head. Those new adjustments Kevin Long put into place paying off right there.
Entering tonight, Granderson a .233 hitter against lefties, .247 against righties. The 1-0. Popped up behind the plate and out of play.
Nunez getting a start tonight against a lefty. Ramiro Pena the last couple of nights. First two games of the series has started at third base.
Line drive again over the leaping try of Pennington. If he was a little bit taller, the inning would be over, but the Yankees have runners on first and second, one out.
A nice piece of hitting from Nunez, and it was a changeup, which you do not see very often from Anderson. Usually it's fastball slider. 10% of the times he'll throw a changeup, and a good one down and away. Nunez goes down, stays through it. Nice line drive over Pennington's head. Tough read for Curtis Granderson, as you see on Yesmo, just out of his reach. Curtis Granderson had to hold his ground and then advances to second.
So here's Francisco Cervelli, a .371 hitter with runners in scoring position. So hitting .253, but he has 32 runs batted in. And Suzuki wants to go out and talk with Anderson. Anderson's made 3 previous starts against the Yankees in his career, 0 for 2 with a 5.68. Yankees are hoping that Cervelli got back on track Sunday against the White Sox. He was 4 for 4. He came into that game 5 for his previous 46. Strike.
It's like Francisco wearing some new shoes or some white laces on there. I'm wondering if he wore them his last time out in Chicago when he went 4 for 4. Obviously, you have a game like that, you strap on the same shoes. back after it.
Count 0-2. We have the same shoes on from last night's broadcast because it was so good.
It's a quality broadcast. I actually changed it up a little bit. Was not happy with my performance. It was kind of like a 1 for 4, you know, a 250. Okay.
Right. So you want a little something better.
I want to get a little bit better. We'll see if it pans out.
The 0-2 upstairs. The A's have been disappointed in their performance the first 2 games. I thought they'd show better than this. A couple of the A's people talking to before the game said, not that, you know, we're better than the Yankees, but, you know, we thought we'd show something. And they certainly have not done that as Cervelli down on strikes.
Well, the disappointing part has been the pitching, and then you start talking, well, was it the Yankees who beat up the pitching, or the pitching wasn't on top of his game? Kurt Young, the pitching coach, looking on. Brett Anderson looks like he's on top of his game. Has that good slider working early.
Now here's Jeter. Jeter singled up the middle in the first inning to break an 0 for 12 slide, hitting .268. And that one is chopped right side. And the ball is bobbled and Jeter safe. Here comes Granderson. He'll score. It's 2-0 Yankees. Stopping at second is Nunez. We'll see how they score that.
Well, this looked like it was going to be a problem right from the beginning. And Barton coming in and Anderson covering first base. As Derek Jeter gets a slider down and chops it to the right side. You see Barton coming in, flips across to Anderson, never gets it in his glove. Derek Jeter beats it out. Curtis Granderson running on contact actually froze coming around third base, then decided to come home. So he freezes a little bit and then all of a sudden decides I got a chance to head first into home. A little gift from the Oakland A's.
And they're going to give an error to Brett Anderson. So no RBI for Jeter, no hit for Jeter. And Kurt Young finishes his conference with Brett Anderson on the mound.
Saw a little bit of this early in the series when Ellis made an error at second base. The Yankees took advantage. A couple of unearned runs after that. Dangerous Nick Swisher with 2 outs.
You see it so many times in baseball. Teams that are not as good as the team they're playing, they have to play a clean game to have a chance. We saw it last night in the Met game. Luis Castillo booted a ball that would have been an inning-ending double play, and that opened the floodgates for the Braves. And you've got to make every out that you have a chance to make. Pitch inside.
But what you worry about, especially with a young pitcher like Anderson, is that mental letdown. Like, you know what, I made my pitch to Jeter. I got the weak ground ball. Didn't finish up the play. Now you got to get back on the mound first and second, 2 outs with a guy who's having a big year in Nick Swisher.
Count 2-0. Swisher with 10 RBIs over his last 5 games. He has 80 in all. And now he has runners on first and second with 2 outs. Yankees lead 2-0, building a small picket fence, 1 in the first, 1 in the second. Runner goes, and Nunez steals third without a throw. Jeter did not go for first.
If you're a base runner, 2 outs, and you're at second base already in scoring position, if you're going to steal third, you better make sure. And obviously Nunez, no throw from Suzuki. Got a great jump. See if Nick Swisher gets the green light 3-0. He got it last night and hit his 25th home run.
And he takes ball 4. And that's not a good walk. It's now yet to face Mark Teixeira. See some of the infield dirt on the left arm and back of Anderson as he tumbled on that play at first base. Anderson's going to work from the full windup now against Teixeira at an RBI double in the first. And there's a strike.
I was interested to see how Anderson was going to go about pitching to Mark Teixeira here. I mean, he pretty much hit his best fastball inside to left center field in the first inning for a double. I want to stay away from that zone.
Count 1-1. Month of August, 289, 9 homers and 21 runs batted in. So now he starts a new slate September 1st. Rosters expand today, and you head toward the home stretch. Now, since August 1st, Teixeira has 29 hits, 13 singles, and 16 extra base hits. Count 1-2 now. Anderson works from the third base side of the rubber, the full windup. Grounded to third, and past Kuzminov into left field. Nunez scores, Jeter scores. It's a 2-run single for Teixeira, and the Yankees lead 4-0.
And again, the Yankees make the A's pay for a mistake, an error by Anderson, the pitcher. That ball took a bad hop. It looked like Kuzminov had a good read on it going to his left, and then all of a sudden it's out of his reach. Kind of a strange ground ball, but get a good look here. Does it go to its left a little bit? A little bad hop. Off the bat, I thought it was pretty much a routine ground ball, but Mark Teixeira will take it, and the Yankees make the A's pay again for an error.
98 ribbies now for Mark Teixeira. Now, all of these runs are unearned, but they're on the scoreboard. That's all that matters for the Yankees. Here's Cano. Strike to Cano. Reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning.
That's a tough base hit and a couple RBIs. If you're the A's right there, you've been beat up the last 2 nights. Now you're down 4-0 in the second inning. Robinson, Cano up there, and you know your offense doesn't score a lot of runs.
Right in the kitchen of Cano. And in self-defense, he grounds it back to Anderson for the final out. But the Yankees scored 3 runs and 1 big error. Andy Pettit threw today, and Alex Rodriguez did some hitting. Our Kimberly Jones has all the latest news on both of them and more in just a moment. In Yankee land, and who better to give us that news than our very own Kimberly Jones? And There she is. Hi, Kim.
Hello.
Andy Pettit threw in the bullpen today. Tell me what went on.
Yes, well, here were Andy's words. Another good day. Here was Dave Island's. Excellent. Why? Because Andy threw 55 pitches, 30 pitches, then sat down for 5 minutes by design, then threw 25 more. Andy said he felt terrific. He said it was a good sign that he was able to sit down and get back on the mound. He said he essentially simulated an inning. Now, what is next for Andy? Well, they will see how he feels tomorrow, Michael. He indicated to us that on Monday he was still a little tender following Sunday's bullpen. He said it wouldn't surprise him if he still feels it a little bit tomorrow. And the Yankees will continue to be cautious, he said. But the next step should be that he will face live hitters, either by throwing batting practice. He said ideally if he throws BP, he'd like to sit down and get back up, or perhaps a simulated game. No timetable on that yet. We won't know anything more until tomorrow, except that it was a very good day for Andy. And he also said that he continues to wonder about his stamina and about his control. He said there's no doubt he will need a rehab start before he rejoins the rotation.
All right, how about Alex Rodriguez?
Alex says the calf feels good. He has run twice this week, 40 yards, 8 times at 50%. Got it? It's a lot of running. He says the calf feels good, but he emphasized he has yet to test it at 100% yet. Alex eligible to come off the DL Sunday. He said if he still feels like he needs a few days, he will be cautious. He did take BP today, though. He was in the Golson-Moeller groups. He was with a couple of the call-ups, and Alex was hitting bombs, so his swing looks good.
Golson-Moeller, that's my law firm, John. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Now, how about Javi Vasquez? He's back in the rotation.
He is. 2 fine relief outings, a total of 9 innings, 2 earned runs, and 8 strikeouts for Javi. He's back. He will start on Saturday in Dustin Mosley's place. And as things have been going, Joe Girardi said, well, this isn't necessarily permanent. I told Dustin we might need you again, and this is what we're doing right now. But Javi very happy about it. And as we talked Monday after he completed that game, Michael, finishing up for Mosley, his teammates feel very good for Javi, too.
Well, right now, A.J. Burnett is pitching well, and he pops up Derek Barton. It's going to be right near Kim Jones.
Watch out, Kim.
And Nunez makes the play, and A.J. has a 6-pitch inning, and he robs us of more Kim time. But we'll hear from Kim on the postgame show. Thanks, Kim.
Thank you.
All right, so the Yankees retire the A's in order. Let's see how. And Marcus Timms leads off against Brett Anderson. There's a strike. Popped up. Sky high fly. Pennington is there for the first out. Yankees had a couple call-ups today. It's September 1st, and you can expand your roster up to 40 men. And the Yankees called up Jonathan Albaladeo, who was lights out as the closer at AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre, Greg Golson, and Chad Moeller, so they have a third catcher. Lance Berkman was put back on the active roster. Obviously, they're waiting on Alex Rodriguez. Those are the numbers for those three gentlemen at Scranton Wilkes-Barre. And Alfredo Aceves is just not ready yet. That's why he's not up. The Yankees might call people up later. Scranton Wilkes-Barre and Trenton AA finish their season. But, you know, when you're going for it, you have a winning team, you don't want to crowd the clubhouse with the dugouts either.
Well, and those three guys that we just showed right there, they fill a need on this club. And there's Berkman looking on. He's active and ready to go. Golson can pinch run. Chad Moeller, a very experienced veteran backstop. Third catcher now. And Albaladeo, you mentioned, what a year he had. AAA. There's Chad Moeller. I was thinking about Albaladeo today, Michael, how many innings he'll get in that bullpen. I mean, I think about a month and a half ago he would have got some quality innings. Now the Yankee bullpen is locked and loaded out there. It'd be tough for him to get some appearances.
It's so odd seeing the numbers that he put up in AAA, which were just really off the charts great. He was the best relief pitcher in the International League. And when he pitches up here, he struggles. And you just wonder, is he one of those quadruple A guys? Is he too good for AAA and not quite up to snuff here? Or maybe he's going to find it now. Grounded and through for a base hit. That breaks an 0 for 19 stretch for Austin Kearns. Let's look at the upcoming schedule brought to you by Acela Express. Enjoy the journey. Now, please note the next 5 games so you don't miss it if you want to watch here on Yes. All of the next 5 games at 105. So one more game against Oakland, then Toronto, 3 day games. Then Baltimore comes to town, and 2 of the 3 games are at 105. Now our coverage on Yes tomorrow will begin at 12:30. So please, John, you know tomorrow's game is at 105.
It's a little day game after a night game. Get some sleep. Can you go a day after a night?
We're going to see, right?
Michael, you talked about Albaladeo, 43 saves, AAA, a 1.42 ERA. You got to imagine, I mean, the confidence level, and we talked about A.J. Burnett, who's an experienced veteran pitcher at the big leagues. It's all about confidence. You got to believe Albaladeo coming up here feeling good about himself.
And now Granderson feeling good about himself. 2 straight hits against the left-hander.
Really good signs for Curtis Granderson. Hitting the ball the other way. The first game of the series, deep. Base hit the other way his first at bat, and then gets a slider down and away. And not his perfect A swing, but enough where he can stay through it. Keep the bat head in the strike zone for a long time. Picks up another base hit.
One more stat about Albaladeo, John, that jumps out at you. He pitched 63 in the 3rd innings, 82 strikeouts, and 18 walks. Here's Eduardo Nunez. 1-0. Nunez spent most of his season with Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Voted best arm by Baseball America and best shortstop by Baseball America. And that's kind of become the Bible of the sport.
I kind of smiled when you mentioned Baseball America, because when you're a kid coming up through the minor leagues, you read that publication, you want to see if your name is going to show up there and if you get voted in one of those leagues.
Off the glove of Anderson, it's a 1-6-3 double play. So he stops it and slows it down, and also stops John Flaherty's story dead straight in the middle. We will find out what John thinks about Baseball America when we come back in the 4th. Yankees lead 4-0. 4-0. A.J. Burnett has held the A's to just 1 hit over the first 3 innings. And Kurt Suzuki will lead it off. Burnett deals outside. All right, John, you have to finish the Baseball Americas.
Well, I mean, in the minor leagues, it's a big deal when you read this magazine and you see where your skills relate as far as where they think you are. And Nunez, obviously, what was he, the best arm?
Best arm, yeah. Base hit to right field. Suzuki rounds first. He's going to second. And the throw is not in time. So that's just, is the story done? Is that it?
That's it. I mean, I actually made that list one time, but I'm not going to brag about it.
Tell me what you made.
What did you think it was?
Best defensive catcher.
See, well, you're brilliant. You remembered all the way back to those years.
Absolutely. Now let's take a look at the GE Capital partner play. Great partnerships are built on trust at GE Capital. We prove that every day.
Off of Anderson to Pennington, over to Barton.
Nice partnership.
3 partners on that play.
Yeah.
Usually we don't get that.
Now I want to know, do you have that Baseball America somewhere in the house?
Not.
Why not?
Of course not.
That would be a thrill. Best defensive catcher in the minors?
In the minors?
So what?
In the minors. That's like saying I made my Little League All-Star team.
So I shouldn't tell you that.
You didn't make an All-Star team. There's no way.
The 0-1. You know what? I'm going to get Baseball America to send me that copy.
Oh, it's going to have to go way back.
But let's be honest. If I get you that copy, that would mean something to you to show your kids, right?
It would. But, you know, the funny thing is I actually smiled when you mentioned Baseball America, because when you make it to the big leagues, you don't even pay attention to that magazine. But when you're in the minor leagues, it's like all you read and how you stack up in the system. But I also have to think now it's different for a minor leaguer coming through, because you have the internet, you have so much more information on where you stand with an organization. Back when I came through, Baseball America was the only magazine that covered the minor leagues. College.
One and 2 on Jack Cust. He swings and misses. Second time he strikes out. Hey, it's time for the New York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. The Yankees have clinched their 18th straight winning season. Who are the only other 2 teams in Major League Baseball history to have accomplished this feat? That's an amazing stat. 18 straight seasons over 500. And when you consider that only 2 other teams in the history of the game have done that, pretty good. Pitch outside to Kevin Kuzminoff. Now, Joe Girardi was asked today whether AJ is pitching to stay in the rotation. And this is the Yankee manager's quote: "That's not a thought in my mind." I don't think it could be a thought in his mind. You need AJ Burnett to be AJ Burnett. And he's not going to become that if you take him out of the rotation. This guy won big games for this franchise, Joe mentioned, and you know, who can forget what he did in Game 2? That was a big win in the World Series.
The first thing I think of is Javi Vasquez getting demoted to the bullpen, and the reason for that, he was throwing 84, 85. I mean, dead arm, whatever it was, his stuff was not there, and he got it straightened out. Now he's back in the rotation. I mentioned earlier, that's not the problem with AJ.
High fly ball, deep right. Swisher back on the track at the wall. See ya. An opposite field home run for Kuzminoff. That got out there. And the A's are on the board. Yankees lead 4-2.
Well, you can see the frustration on the face of A.J. Burnett, not necessarily Joe Girardi. And Kuzminoff, when he hit this ball, I didn't think it was going to go this far. It's a good extension out over the plate. Gets underneath it, and obviously the ball had a little carry on it, gets out of here. I think AJ was a little surprised that ball ended up where it did.
Here's Mark Ellis. Fouls it away.
If you're A.J. Burnett, you got to regroup a little bit. That first fastball had some anger behind it to Ellis. Not happy with that home run. Things have been going smooth here through the first 3 innings. Get back on track. You think that ball was going out, Michael?
No, it carried much farther than I thought. And looking at the flags, I don't think it was atmospheric. It doesn't see much wind.
And it's not a wall scraper either. I mean, that's a good 5, 6, 7 rows back. You wonder what that swing with Kuzminoff got underneath it. Maybe some 4-seam carry. Remember Bobby Alejo, right? Used to be the strength guy. He's the strength guy with the A's. Now says Kuzminoff, the strongest guy in the club, and obviously showing it there. Baseball America never rated me as the strongest guy in the club, by the way.
You know, there is an in-house magazine with yes, and we rate you the strongest guy in the booth.
Wow, that can't be right, though. Paul O'Neill, as you see the swing, you know, I don't even know if Kuzminoff thought it was gone. I mean, he made solid contact, backed it up a little bit. Sometimes you hit a ball and you get a little 4-seam backspin and carries out of here. An impressive home run. O'Neill's got to get that title, right?
Not sure. 2-2. He didn't dominate P90X like you.
Dominated for 90 days.
That's what I heard.
And then basically took the rest of the summer off and gave it all back.
Well, you know what? If you play for a tie, you feel good about things.
But I don't play for a tie. I was trying to get ahead. Back at it now, though.
Grounded up the middle, and Mark Ellis has picked himself up a hit. So A.J. coasting over the first 3 and runs into trouble here in the 4th.
Yeah, but this is a big part of the ball game for A.J. now, and Dave Island's going to have a talk. You can start to see some frustration maybe on A.J.'s body language.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
Sure, that was a conversation to pump up A.J. right there from Dave Island. He still got good stuff. Made a good pitch to Ellis, and he just slapped it right back up the middle. Don't change a thing.
There's Jeff Larish. Let's see if this turns into a double play. There's 1. There's 2. Nice pivot by Jeter to turn 2 on Larish. So A.J. got just what he needed. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. And because of this DP, 4-6-3, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. The Yankees have clinched their 18th straight winning season. Who are the only other two teams in big league history to have accomplished this feat? The answer is the Orioles, 68-85. The Yankees, 26-64. Wow. Then they kind of hit some hard times in 65, 66, 67. But it's been all Hale and Hardy since 1994. 2-0. Cervelli serves that one to right field. They had him play beautifully. Rajai Davis makes the play. So Cervelli is 0 for 2. And that's going to bring up Derek Jeter. Well, you got to watch this, John. John McEnroe premieres on Tuesday, center stage.
Did you get him fired up?
He was fired up out of the cannon.
Really?
Let me tell you, he was great. So you'll like to hear Johnny Mac. It's interesting things to say.
He's not afraid to say it either, right?
No, and you know what? I hardly had to talk throughout the whole show, which is always good.
It was hard for you.
No, I like to listen to people. Here's Jeter. There's a strike. Count 1-1. Jeter single up the middle in the first, scored a run. Reached on an E1 in the second and came around and scored a run.
Michael, I mentioned I talked to Kevin Long before the game about Derek Jeter and his recent struggles. And it was interesting. Kevin said he's not one of those guys that mechanically you take into the cage and you change things. He said he's such a feel hitter, a competitive hitter.
Grounded to third. And Derek's out.
And by that I mean he just steps into the batter's box and says, I'm going to find a way to beat you. I'm going to find a way to get a hit. And the only thing Kevin wants him to do is swing at strikes. He said if he swings at strikes, doesn't expand the strike zone, he's going to be fine and have a nice month of September.
When you say he's a field hitter, does that mean he doesn't pay attention to mechanics, or his mechanics don't really stray that much?
Yeah, there are hitters, and I was a type of hitter. I would get in the box and think about where my hands were and where my feet were and the timing of moving. Everything was going through my head. And Derek, all he thinks about is seeing the ball and hitting it. And I think that's where Kevin, he doesn't feel the need to change anything. He doesn't feel the need to move his hands forward or move them back. He just wants to get him back in the strike zone. And he said once he does that, he is going to be fine. I don't think I've ever heard Derek Jeter talk about mechanics of hitting at all.
Never.
It's just grab a bat, get in there, see the ball, and I'm going to beat you.
And other guys you'll talk to, you know, my weight shift is wrong. Yeah. I'm not on my back. I mean, they'll try to explain it, but Derek never. He doesn't even want to engage you in that. The 0-2. And then you talked on Monday about Wade Boggs. As a media member, talking hitting with Wade Boggs, you'd glaze over because he knew so much more than you, and he really thought hitting.
Well, he would talk about bat angles and U's through the zone instead of V's and all these crazy things. And, you know, I just think back to the years playing with Derek, and you'd go over a scouting report. He didn't even want to hear that. He wanted to know velocity. How hard is he throwing? And the rest will fall into place from there.
Grounded to second. And Ellis retires Swisher in a 1-2-3 inning for Brett Anderson. We played 4 here at the stadium. Yankees are leading this one 4-2 on yes. Thank you, Bob. We'll hear from Bob a little bit later. Then on the postgame with Kim, we go to the 5th inning. It's 4-2 Yankees, and Rajai Davis leads off. And there's a strike. On the Kia scoreboard, it's 4-7-0 Yankees and 2-4-1 for the A's. That one is driven deep to left center field, giving Chase Granderson. He's not going to get there, and there's going to be one hop over the wall into the bullpen, and it is a double for Rajai Davis.
I don't know if Davis would have gotten to third base. I mean, he runs extremely well, and the Yankees might have caught a break right there. That ball bouncing into the A's bullpen. Davis ends up at second base with a ground rule double. I'm sure he was thinking triple out of the box. Take a look at a fastball in. Good turnaround first. Sees the ball in front of him. Now he's going to break it down as it goes over the wall. Could have been thinking about a triple right there.
How much fun it must be to run like that.
You know how much fun it must be to get out of the box? You're thinking triple right away. To make it happen, kind of like Jorge Posada last night.
Here's Pennington. I was most shocked by Tino having all those triples.
It shocked me. I mean, he kind of jumped me when what did I guess?
21 triples.
And I guessed 10.
Yeah. Now Jorge had 10 and you had 3.
When you hit doubles and home runs, you don't concern yourself with triples. I figured if I'm going to lead the league in doubles, I'm not going to hit triples.
Yeah, you want to slow down.
Just pull up a little bit.
Absolutely.
Break it down.
And it's not as if you hit a ball over the wall, you can stop it there.
You wouldn't want it.
No.
But I remember 2 of the 3 triples, and both were the identical play with the same center fielder. Jim Edmonds going back, trying to make a great play. It was off the wall, bounced back towards center field. And
that one is drilled down the right field line. It is a foul ball. Not much room in foul territory, but C.B. Buckner was right on the call.
See if A.J. Burnett can take advantage of a break right here. 2-0 fastball down the middle. Pennington just a little bit too quick. Had a little hook on that. A.J. catches a break. Couple of hard hit balls here in the 5th. He's thrown a couple of good changeups already in this ball game. Davis and Pennington some good swings on the fastball.
The 2-1. There's a strike. .59 pitches, 37 strikes, 22 out of the zone. Pennington flied out to center. That was in the 3rd inning, so this is his 2nd at bat. He has something in his eye. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Said Doug Eddings at 3rd. So Pennington down on strikes.
Nice job of rebounding for A.J. Burnett right there. 2-0 fastball gets drilled foul, and then he comes back with a slider. 2 in a row. Yes, Mo, you see the good finish. Down and away. Pennington swinging right over the top. A little check swing. Big first out here in the 5th.
Now back to the top of the lineup, and Coco Crisp, who's 0 for 2 against AJ. Down 0-1.
Davis on second base. He has 39 steals for the year, so A.J. Burnett has to pay some attention. Nobody out. He was not thinking about stealing 3rd. You wonder here with 1 out if he's going to try to get himself to 3rd base. Sacrifice fly or ground ball would score him.
Runner goes. Go to 3rd. Not in time. Nunez did not hold on to the ball, so a stolen base for Davis. and that's his 40th stolen base of the year.
Didn't think he had a great jump, but a tough pitch for Cervelli to handle. Nice job by Nunez just to make sure he keeps his ball in front. Cervelli throwing from his knees, the one-hop throw. If you're Nunez, you want to apply the tag, but the most important thing, keep it in front. Did a nice job of that.
Fouled away. AJ's allowed the most stolen bases in the American League, 34. Ahead of Fausto Carmona and Urban Santana. And Carl Pavano's having a very good year, has allowed 29. They're 34 of 39 off AJ. Rajay Davis is at third. One man out. 1-2 count on Crisp. Crisp's given name is Covelli. His grandmother started calling him Co for short. You see Rajay Davis with 40 stolen bases. Crisp has 22. And then his buddies and his family started calling him Coco. And stuff. The 2-2. That's going to get a run in. Ground ball to Cano. The out is made. RBI to Crisp, and it's 4-3. The Yankees over the A's.
They give Davis credit there for that stolen base, number 40, getting to third base. Coco Crisp, all you had to do was put the ball in play. Now all of a sudden we have a 4-3 game. The Yankees were leading 4-0 after 2.
Here's Derek Barton. Former first-round draft pick of the Cardinals. And that was in 2003 out of Marina High School in California. And he signed a contract with them for just under $1 million bonus, $975. Then it came to the A's in the deal that sent Mark Mulder to the Cardinals. And the A's got Barton, Danny Herron, and Kiki Calero. Barton walked in the first, his 89th walk of the year. Leads the American League. And the 2-0. Fastball strike, 2-1. Count 3-1. This is an 0-4, the trade that it's a pretty good trade for the A's. They got 3 pretty good players, and they've since moved on, 2 of them. But you see Mulder, who's certainly been derailed by injuries. The 3-1. 3-2. A little something extra on that fastball. Jacked it up to 94.
He has Suzuki on deck, who has a couple of hits against AJ. A good fastball down, a little light through the zone.
And the pitch. Fouled it away.
Like AJ's attitude right there. Same pitch, saying, here you go. Let's see how far you can hit it. My best fastball against your best swing. See, Barton was late.
Fastball, still 3-2.
It's one of those luxuries pitching against this lineup. I mean, Barton has 8 home runs for a first baseman, pretty much playing every day. You can challenge in some fastball counts. Force him to hit the ball the other way to the big part of the ballpark.
Into foul ball. Barton thought it was a home run. He's already at second. Now he has to make sure he doesn't cross the mound because his teammate Dallas Braden will be upset.
Stayed clear, but like I said, AJ trying to force him to hit the ball the other way, and he does. Just misses a home run.
That was really close.
Don't expect Barton to have that type of power going the other way. Now you wonder if AJ changes the game plan up a little bit, about 4 or 5 fastballs in a row. Maybe changeup, maybe curveball.
Here's a 3-2. He goes with the breaking ball. To walk his 90th of the year. So a 4-0 lead is turned into a 4-3 lead, and a runner on first base with Suzuki, who's 2 for 2 against AJ.
Suzuki has gotten a couple of fastballs from AJ, single left field, double. I believe AJ's going to change it up a little bit here. First pitch curveball or slider. The body language a little bit better though, Michael. You know, you can see AJ kind of getting into it, competing a little bit more aggressive than we've seen. Body language just looks a little bit better. Mitre stirring in the Yankee bullpen.
Cervelli checks the Yankee dugout. Popped up. Shallow left. Jeter drifts back. Kearns comes in. Kearns at the call on the catch for the final out of the 5th. 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 left. We're halfway through. 4-3 Yanks. More information on how to book your next private event at NYY Steak, please visit or contact Mary Gerges at 646-977-8041, or you can log on to NYYsteak.com. Kia Motors scoreboard, 4-3, Yankees over the A's. It'll be 3, 4, and 5 in the Yankee order against Brett Anderson, who has settled down over his last 2 innings. Gave up a run in the first and 3 in the third, or 3 in the second, thanks to an error by him. Unearned. Pitch inside to Teixeira.
Look at Mark Teixeira's batting average now at 267 after a 2 for 2 already, a double, a single, and 3 RBIs. Be incredible if he gets to his career numbers at the end of September after the way he started.
He's already getting there power numbers wise. You wonder, will he get up to 290? He'd really have to have a tour in September. There's a strike. One thing that you noticed about Teixeira when he struggled in April and May, it didn't seem like he stressed out about it. He was certain that he was going to turn it around, that it wasn't going to be a bad year. Grounded up the middle, grabbed there by Pennington. He knocks it down, can't get a handle. That'll be a base hit for Teixeira. He's 3 for 3. Let's take a look at tomorrow's starting pitchers, brought to you by Fios TV, Internet, and Phone. It's time for Fios. Dallas Braden, he had the perfect game. He had the get off my mound, 9-9, 3.28. And CC Sabathia, 18-5, 3.14. It's a day game tomorrow, so we come on the air at 12:30 with the pregame. At 1:08 will be the first pitch in the game. CC trying to become the major's first 19-game winner and solidify his credentials for a possible second Cy Young award. With that single, Tex is now 8 for his last 9.
He doesn't even have to hit a ball hard now. I mean, that was a routine ground ball, but perfectly placed up the middle out of the way of Pennington. 3 for 3, batting average getting close to 270 now.
Cano wraps one into right center field. Rajay Davis got a good jump, runs it down for the first out. So Cano is now 0 for 3 tonight. Toronto and Tampa Bay are tied at 1, and the Orioles lead Boston 5-2. Boy, Baltimore's turning out to be a fly in the ointment for some teams.
Obviously a lot better with Buck Showalter now. Going to be a tough team to face down the stretch. But the Blue Jays too, Mike. I mean, a lot of power, good young pitching. Was Boston 8 games out coming into today? I mean, can you officially say that it's probably over?
No, they still have enough games with the Rays and the Yankees that they have a shot. I don't think it's a good shot. I felt it was over, John, when they lost Pedroia, because I think he's the heart and soul of the team. When he came
for the
back
second time?
The second time, and they said, you know, that's it, he's still hurt. I thought that really set him back.
Yeah, you know what the big thing for me is Beckett. I think he's got 4 wins at this point starting in September, and he's not the Beckett that the Yankee fans would remember, or the Red Sox fans were looking for. You see 8 games back. Red Sox.
You know, you mentioned the Blue Jays. Well, they've been pretty decent all year. The thing that shocks me about the Orioles, they were dreadful. I mean, they were historically bad. And since Showalter took over, they're 5 games over 500. I think they're 18-13. I mean, that's incredible when they were 40 games under when he took over, and there's no personnel change other than him. Beckett, by the way, 4-4, 6.21. Now remember, they signed him right at the beginning of the year, that long-term contract, and he has really, really struggled. Been on the DL. The numbers aren't very good. Dribbled slowly back to the mound. Anderson will take the out at first as Teixeira moves to second. Red Sox were asked today about the chances of making the playoffs, and Beckett said, you know, I'd rather go to the playoffs, but I also don't mind playing spoiler. And right now, the likelihood of them playing spoiler is probably greater than playing in the playoffs. Although you can't count them out because they do have history on their side, and they're a tough-minded team with a lot of guys that have won.
You're right. It almost sounds like once you say they're done, they're going to go through a little run and get right back into it.
Kearns fouls it away.
Beckett's numbers, though, 4-4 with a 6.2. A lot of the reports up in Boston, the velocity is down. He's kind of going through that transition. I can't pitch at 95, 96 anymore. I have 92, 93, and he just hasn't figured out how to win with that. I've seen a lot of pitchers go through that transition. Javi Vasquez, velocity down a little bit.
I would think the transition for Beckett would be tougher than it is even for Javi, because he relied a lot on velocity.
Yep. High fastballs and that curveball that'll get you to swing at when you can speed your bat up with the fastball.
And you wonder, John, that if they had a do-over, and that clipped Kearns on the way by, if they had a do-over, would they sign him to that deal that they signed him to?
Take a look here with Kearns. Fastball in, just clipped his back shin, it looked like. So hard being a general manager, huh, Michael, when you got to make decisions like that? You have to look forward and project what a player is going to be a few years down the road.
Here's Granderson. Hot shot to second. Ellis is there, and that's going to do it. We've played 5 at the stadium. Yankees lead 4-3 in the bottom of the 5th. They lead 2. Let's go to the 6th. .com and by Resident Evil in theaters September 10th. Nice shot at the stadium, looking great on a Wednesday night. Yankees lead 4-3. Now when you drive past on the Deegan, you see it. When the old ballpark was still up, it was kind of obscured. Now it's like a beacon in the night. Here's Jack Cust against A.J. Burnett. Cust has struck out twice against Burnett. And a strike. Count 1-1.
I'm interested to see how the rest of this game plays out for A.J. Burnett. You know, Joe Girardi and Dave Island want to get him out of here on a positive note. This will be his 80th pitch of the ball game, so he's got plenty to go as far as pitch count's concerned.
Ground ball is short. Cust is out. It's time for another look at tonight's Toyota text poll. Once again, the question is September the best month for sports? You've been texting us at 58772, and here's how you voted. 65% say yes. You know what a favorite of mine is? March.
March Madness?
March Madness, spring training.
You know, the baseball season is totally different in September when you come in the clubhouse on a Saturday or Sunday. You got college football on the TV and you're getting ready for a big league baseball game. Sundays you got the NFL going. Totally different feel. Gets a little cooler. Hoping for postseason baseball. You tell I'm a big fan of the fall.
I can tell. I got to admit, I'm a little done with the summer. Is Java Chamberlain getting loose? I mean, forever or just this summer? No, just this summer. I mean, it's been so hot. You know, you're out by the pool. The kids are ready to get back to school, get into the routine. Yeah, that sounds awful, hanging out by the pool.
You could be hanging out on your sun deck in Manhattan, your penthouse.
There's a strike three to Kuzmanov. If I had a penthouse, I could. 7 strikeouts is the most that AJ's had since July 28th.
Little backup slider from AJ. He's supposed to be down and away, and it actually locks Kuzmanov up on the inner half. 7 strikeouts and a pretty strong 6th inning so far. We'll see if he can finish it off.
Here's Mark Ellis, 1 for 2. Pitch outside.
If AJ can get through this 6th inning, it's going to be an interesting decision for Joe Girardi. The pitch count's still manageable. But like I said, you'd like to get AJ out on a positive note, leading in a ball game. It's been a good outing so far. Tony Pena bearing down on the reports.
Yankees up 4-3. 1-1. Good breaking ball. Did he go? Yes, he did.
Real good. Tight, down and away. Little check swing. One of the best ones of the night here. Location and break.
Grounded up the middle, slowed down by Burnett, and there'll be no play. So an infield single for Mark Ellis.
Second hit of the night for Ellis, and both of them have been pretty much identical. Breaking balls down and away, and he just stays on it, slaps it right back up the middle. AJ knocks it down. No play for Robinson Cano. Glove behind his back. Can't come up with it. Smart play by Robinson to eat that baseball.
There's Jeff Larish. 0 for 2, struck out and wrapped into a double play. Florida fastball on there, 1-0. .88 pitches, 56 strikes.
Talked about this the last couple of nights, watching Larish in his stance, real upright, tall, not a lot of movement in his hands. Got to believe you can beat him up and in, but if you make a mistake down, he could be dangerous.
Good pitch, diving down and in. count 1-2.
Real good slider this inning, although Cervelli's setting up away and it ends up down and in. The break is tight. Swing and a miss.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. 8 strikeouts for Burnett, and that matches his season high. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 left. It's time now for a message from our friends at the Fox Business Network. For Yankees home games now through September 7th, compliments of DKNY. This back-to-school ticket special presented by DKNY is for a limited time only, and tickets are subject to availability. Tickets are available at Yankees.com, all Ticketmaster outlets, and the Yankee Stadium ticket office. Well, Brett Anderson has certainly acquitted himself nicely after a couple of rocky innings at the beginning. Count 1-1 to Nunez.
He's got to be kicking himself for that ground ball. Derek Jeter, the play at first base, that Anderson dropped the flip from Barton. Cost him a couple of runs after that. You're right, Michael has settled in nicely. 87 pitches to this point. Back in the second inning, Derek Jeter, a little ground ball to Barton, a chopper, the flip to Anderson, can't come up with it. The Yankees took advantage.
That's why his uniform is dirty.
I guess better news for Bob Guerin, the manager in the Oakland A's. That right knee that he hyperextended his last outing doesn't seem to be bothering him. Pitching into the 6th.
Count 3-2. Yankees had a 4-0 lead, holding on now at 4-3 as Nunez skies one to right. It's deep, going back Davis. Right in front of the track, he puts it away for the first out. Traveling this season? Take the Yankees with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Yankees game live or on demand on your computer. Visit Yankees.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Here's Francisco Cervelli, 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out and flied out to right. Fouled away. Toronto and Tampa still tied at 1. That's in the 6th. And Baltimore leads Boston 5-3 in the 5th. Yankees are in first place alone for the first time in 9 days. Now the Oakland A's trail the Texas Rangers by 8.5 in the West, and they virtually have no chance of winning the wild card. They're 15.5 games behind the Rays. The A's have never overcome a September deficit of more than 3 games to win a league, division, or wild card race. So they've got a tough road ahead.
I guess you never want to say never, but we talked about it for 3 games now. Offensively, they're just not going to go out there and bomb against you, hit home runs. 8.5 games back coming in.
And the pitch way outside, so Cervelli works a walk. Here's Derek Jeter. He is 1 for 3. Single up the middle in the first, scored a run. Reached on an E1 in the second. That opened the floodgates for 3 runs. And then grounded to third in the 4th. 1-0. Craig Breslow, one of the 2 left-handers in the bullpen, getting ready for the A's. They've called up some pitchers. They have 7 righties and 2 lefties in the bullpen, so 9 relievers. Driven the other way and foul.
No, it's a foul ball. I like that swing for Derek Jeter. A little slider, did not try to pull it. Kind of rolling over the top of some pitches lately in this series, and he stayed inside of this breaking ball. See him almost trying to force it the other way. Sometimes you see a hitter try to do that in a ball game. Just force the ball the other way. I'll get him right back on track.
There's a strike. Derek didn't think so. The count 1-2.
The 100 pitch for Anderson, and that's usually his max, 100 to 110, somewhere in that range.
Swing and a miss, and Jeter down on strikes. So Derek is 1 for 4. Let's see how they went at him. The pitch by pitch is brought to you by Suzuki Kizashi.
A lot of sliders from Anderson to Derek Jeter. First pitch for a ball. Second pitch, get me over, and Derek fouls it off. Will check swing down and in, and then a real good one to finish him off. 4 in a row. See the yes-mo right over the top. Hand actually releases. Usually you don't see Derek do that.
Here's Nick Swisher with 2 outs and a runner on first. Cervelli is held there by Barton. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Along with John Flaherty and Kimberly Jones, I'm Michael Kay, and you're watching Yankees baseball right here on the Yes Network. We certainly thank you for spending part of your Wednesday evening with us. Yankees had a 4-0 lead. It's 4-3 right now in the bottom of the 6th. This will be the 101st pitch for Anderson, and Swisher swings and misses.
Good slider. We've seen it all night long to the right. He's down and in. Swings and misses on that pitch. Did a nice job setting that slider up with fastballs early.
Grounded and off of Anderson, goes right to Ellis. He steps on the bag, and that will do it. So that's a fielder's choice, and it's 1-4 with the force at second. Let's go to the 7th inning here at the stadium. Yankees are leading 4-3 and a painful out for Anderson. Music and Computer World, and by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. Well, Joe Girardi wants to get A.J. Burnett out on a positive note, so he makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible.
I like this move, too, Michael. Jabba Chamberlain coming in. You see the numbers have gotten steadily better. But you're right. A.J. Burnett leaves on a positive note. In line for a win. 8 strikeouts. Pitched better tonight. Yankee bullpen has been well rested.
The Verizon Wireless scoreboard 4-3.
Javi Vasquez long relief outing the first game of this series. Chad Godin last night. Back end of that Yankee bullpen well rested.
Foul back, 95 miles an hour by Jabba. Jabba's last 15 appearances, sporting a 1.84 ERA, and when he pitched over the weekend in Chicago, on Saturday he was throwing 98-99, and on Sunday he actually hit 100 on the gun. Swing and a miss. 97 miles an hour, one away.
Well, you like the velocity. I think more importantly, you like the location. All those pitches to Davis have been down and away. This one's a ball. Jabba usually has a tough time locating down and away. Not tonight.
Here's Cliff Pennington. And he bunts. Oh, out there quickly is Cervelli. What a play by the catcher for the second out. John, you can appreciate that. He was like a cat.
Good athlete behind the plate. Most catchers are. You see Pennington, good bunt out in front. Actually, that high hop for Cervelli makes it an easier play. Gets out in fair territory. Doesn't have to worry about scooping it off the grass. An easy throw to first. Never question the athletic ability of Cervelli behind the plate.
Here's Coco Crisp. Line drive, a base hit to right field. So Crisp with a 2-out single. Now he's a threat to steal. Hey, tonight after the postgame, football returns to Yes with This Week in Football, presented by Geico. The gang looks ahead to the Jets and the Giants' first regular season games, including an interview with Jets head coach Rex Ryan. This Week in Football tonight after the postgame. It's only on Yes. Here's Derek Barton.
Got to be thinking here with 2 outs. Crisp will be running early in the count, trying to get himself in scoring position. Opponents are 9 out of 10 stolen base attempts with Jabba pitching. Thinking about a pitch out here, possibly. Those throw over.
Crisp 22 of 24 and 14 straight. And Cervelli actually has the worst percentage of throwing out base runners in the American League. Kurt Suzuki is second. Ground ball up the middle, a base hit for Barton. Crisp will round second. He'll go to third. So all of this happening with 2 outs. The A's have runners on the corners.
Not a bad pitch by Jabba Chamberlain either. It's a fastball. It's down. Ground ball right back up the middle is going to be a base hit. You have a first and third situation. Bringing up Suzuki, who had a couple of hits against AJ. Both of them were on fastballs. We'll see if Dave Island's going to have a conversation with Jabba about throwing your slider. Boone Logan getting loose.
Boone Logan getting loose for Jack Cust. So Suzuki is certainly Jabba's batter. Suzuki 2 for 3 against AJ Burnett. Burnett went 6 innings, a season high 8 strikeouts. And he turns the lead over to the bullpen. Jabba well rested, last pitched on Sunday. High pop-up, left field. Kearns is there, and that'll do it. So Jabba works into and out of trouble. No runs, 2 hits, no errors yet. 2 men left on base at the end of 6 1/2. Time for the 7th inning stretch here at the stadium, with the Yankees leading the A's 4-3. But we will stay right here to honor America here in the Bronx.
As we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
Red hot Mark Teixeira. Grounded to third. Bobble. Kuzmanov across the diamond. And 1 pitch, 1 out. So Teixeira was 8 of his last 9 before that ground ball. And those are the numbers on Breslow.
Pretty good, too. Only 43 hits and 58 in the third. 60 strikeouts. Coming off 2 scoreless innings in Texas on Sunday.
On the Verizon Wireless scoreboard, 4-3 Yankees lead. Breslow did not have a good August, though, and an ERA of 6.10 in August. Here's Cano. And there's a strike. Cano is 0 for 3 so far tonight. Cano has the best average of any big league ball player, career-wise, that's active right now in September and October. So he really picks it up in the final month of the season. Very few games, regular season games, are played in October, but his Septembers are the best of any active player. Kerry Wood now warming up alongside Boone Logan. Now, are you seeing some kind of shift here, John? Because I'm trying to read how Joe Girardi's using the bullpen. Usually with a lead, he was going to David Robertson. Now, I don't know if he's going to go Wood or he's going to go, he's going to start with Boone Logan against Cust. But then you go to Wood and not Robertson. And Robertson had been the 8th inning guy.
Well, Robertson pitched an inning last night. I don't know if that's going to come into it. I think Kerry Wood obviously has done such a nice job. He's going to get some meaningful innings late in ball games. But what a luxury for Joe Girardi now. I mean, you got Jabba Chamberlain pitching the 7th, pitching a lot better. You have options in the 8th. Boone Logan, Kerry Wood, David Robertson. It seems like just a short while ago we were talking about how you're going to get the ball to Mariano Rivera.
Line drive right at Barton. And Cano is now 0 for 4. Tonight, throughout the Yankee season on Yes, we are asking you to vote along with us for the Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 58772 or vote online at yesnetwork.com. Tonight's candidates are number 1, Mark Teixeira, number 2, Kevin Kuzmanov, number 3, A.J. Burnett, number 4, Curtis Granderson. Vote now and make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. There's Marcus Timms. He's 0 for 3. John, I have to send out best wishes to my niece Chelsea, who tomorrow heads to Boston College, where she will begin her college life. Wow. She's an extremely bright girl. She's going to do great there.
What a great place to go to college, too. BC.
And my first
campus.
niece, Ashley, went to BC, too. She graduated. Now Chelsea's turn. So good luck, Chelsea. Turned him loose on 3-0, and he hits a fly ball to center. Chris really misread that. He went back, and the ball lands in front of him for a bloop single. Boy, he really misread that, John.
Well, you can see why, too. Marcus Timms takes a big swing, 3-0 off the end of the bat, and it just doesn't go anywhere. See, Chris goes back a few steps and then tries to make up for it with his speed. He's not going to be able to do it. Marcus Timms will take it, a little 2-out base hit.
And he's saying, I got fooled by the swing. Here's Austin Kearns. Pitch is low.
Does Chelsea know what her major is going to be?
I don't think so, not yet.
A little undecided.
Hammered down the left field line and foul. She's an extraordinary softball player. She's going to try to walk on the BC team, and she was a catcher taking after you.
Obviously very intelligent and athletic.
Very.
I was lucky enough to go to a Boston College football game years ago. What a great time that was. Beautiful campus. People know how to have some fun there.
Chelsea, don't listen to Uncle John. You know, we talked about 3-0 counts, getting a green light. Tim's now 11 for 22 in 3-0 counts. Two-one. High fly ball. Left center. Crisp has this one lined up. And he'll put it away for the final out of the 7th. No runs a hit. No errors. One man left. Let's go to the 8th. 4-3 Yanks. Light by Subway Restaurants. Build your better breakfast and grab lunch to go to. And by Capital One Bank. What's in your wallet? A couple of changes for the Yankees. You see that new left fielder, number 11, is Brett Gardner, taking over for Austin Kearns. There's Brett. And now Boone Logan comes in to face Jack Cust. Java Chamberlain pitched a scoreless 7th. Cust fouls it off. And that got Cervelli, and he crumples down in pain.
Gene Monahan, Joe Girardi out there. So you got him right on the inside of the right knee, a foul ball.
Shows you that really doesn't provide that much protection.
You know, there's sometimes, see how that right knee is open though, and he hits the side of it, right in between the creases there and the protection.
Losada now explaining what it feels like. I don't know how you guys do it. All those years, all that pounding. The 0-1. 1-1. Lefty batters against Logan this year, 185, 10 for 54. Righties hit 286 against him, 18 for 63. And boy, does Logan become important, because we're still waiting on Damaso Marte. He was so important to them last year, one of the most valuable players in the postseason. And you look at some of the teams you're going to face, or you might have a chance to face. Who's getting out Josh Hamilton? Who's getting out Joe Mauer? Today, Marte was officially moved to the 60-day deal, but he's already been on there for 60 days. And Boone Logan's been doing a lot of that. He strikes out Jack Cust, and that's all he's going to do as Joe Girardi bounds out of the dugout and calls on Wood.
He's called to get a lefty out, and he does it with a couple of nice sliders down and away. Nice job, Boone Logan.
Kerry Wood against Kevin Kuzmanov when we return. Yankees holding on 4-3. Complete coverage will start at 12:30 with the Tri-State Ford pregame. Then John Flaherty and I are back with the call. A's Yankees tomorrow afternoon at 12:30. Only on CC Sabathia will go for his 19th victory against the guy who pitched the perfect game, Dallas Braden. Here's Kerry Wood. Those numbers were a lot higher when he came over from Cleveland. He has been very, very good with the Yankees. Check it out. 12 2/3, 9 hits, 1 earned run. He'd like to cut down on the walks, but 15 strikeouts. He's been very, very solid. There's a strike to Kuzmanov.
Michael, actually, when I looked at those numbers and the walks may be a little bit high, but you don't get the feeling like Kerry Wood is wild when he comes in. He's kind of just barely missing the strike zone. Case right there, a little cutter down and away, doesn't miss by much.
John, Dave Island made a little bit of an adjustment with him, right?
And all it was raising his arm a little bit higher. He thought his elbow was a little bit low. It just tells you the age now with modern-day baseball, looking at technology. And Dave went back and looked at video from the Cubs when he just came up and all through the years and noticed his arm angle had steadily dropped. And Kerry told him, nobody's ever told me that before, and he was willing to make a change, and it's worked out.
And that works out with the ground ball right back to the mound for the second out.
Kerry Wood had walked a couple of batters and had to work his way out of it, and showing the ability to make a big pitch when he needed it. It was Nova's first major league win.
Here's Mark Ellis, 2 for 3 against A.J. Burnett, his first time up against Wood. And boy, it's been a rough inning for Cervelli.
I shouldn't laugh, but it just seems like once you get one off the shin guard, it's going to happen again somewhere on a different body part. Looks like that left foot. So locked in behind the plate right now in a one-run game. 2 outs in the 8th inning. Trying to make sure you call the right pitch. You don't want one swing of the bat to tie this game up.
Hot shot up the middle, a base hit for Ellis, who has been slumping. 4 for 27 coming in, but he's 3 for 4 tonight.
All 3 of the hits have been identical. Little sliders, or it was a cutter from Kerry Wood away. All 3 of the hits have been right back up the middle, and you see Cervelli's reaction. He's seen the swing before. That's fine. You don't want to make a mistake on the inner half and have a tie ball game.
And now Island will go out and talk with him about Jeff Larish. Wood was interviewed a lot in Chicago, John, regarding Steven Strasburg, who is going to undergo Tommy John surgery on Friday. He had a great line to Kimberly Jones. He said, I would have 9 Tommy John surgeries instead of 1 shoulder surgery. Because Tommy John surgery seems like, yeah, it's a long, arduous rehab, but you do get back. Shoulder surgery, it's a crapshoot.
I like his comments about once you have the surgery, then you got to start working. You know, it's happened, it's over with. Now you got to get to the rehab process, and obviously Kerry has been through it. Michael, you mentioned the fact that the Yankees have Boone Logan to get a big lefty out, but if you're Kerry Wood, you got to come up with something to negate lefties for a possible postseason. Be that cutter on the inner half up around the belt buckle, and the good curveball.
Well, you were with the Padres. Did you get a chance to face him all?
No.
There's a strike. He really burst upon the scene. 20 strikeout game against the Astros, and just his arm didn't hold up. But a good pickup by Brian Cashman. A deadline deal from the Cleveland Indians. In fact, both guys that came from the Indians have really helped, Austin Kearns and Kerry Wood.
I guess you got to give the scouting department for the Yankees some credit too, because Kerry Wood was on the DL with some blister problems, you know, so they really didn't have a lot of opportunities to see him pitch. Just come off the DL when the deal was done. I actually talked to a Yankee scout who watched him throw a bullpen session and liked what he saw when he was on the DL working his way back. So it tells you how in-depth those scouts go to find out about somebody.
Keeping Ellis close. We're in the 8th inning. Yankees are leading the A's 4-3. Larish seems to have problems with that breaking ball diving down and in. That was a fastball up and away. Larish is 0 for 3 tonight with 2 strikeouts.
Maybe that fastball up, setting up that slider down and in, curveball down and in.
First game he was 3 for 4 with 4 ribbies. Yesterday 0 for 4, today 0 for 3. And he does go with the breaking ball low and inside, but Larish skips rope to get out of the way.
You mentioned the home run that Larish hit, and it was pretty much a fastball down middle. Joe Girardi, Dave Island, the coaching staff watching, I'm sure they're realizing he's pretty much a low ball hitter. Likes the fastball down.
Two. Still 2-2. A.J. Burnett went 6. A season-high 8 strikeouts. Java Chamberlain pitched a scoreless 7th despite giving up 2 hits. Boone Logan came on here in the 8th to strike out Jack Cuss to start off the inning. Then Kerry Wood got Kuzminov to bounce back to the mound. Then Mark Ellis singled up the middle. And that's where we are right now with Ellis at first, 2 outs, and a 2-2 count on Jeff Larish. The 2-2 upstairs. So that helps out the A's a bit because Ellis will be going on the full count with 2 outs. And Rajay Davis is on deck. Foul back.
Kerry Wood went with a curveball again. It was a mistake, a hanger. Larish had a good swing and fouled it straight back.
Mariano Rivera getting ready. Eighth inning in Tampa. Or in St. Pete, Tampa Bay and Toronto 1-1. 7th inning in Baltimore. Orioles 5 and the Red Sox 5. Runner goes, pitches low, so Wood walks Larish. And Island checking to see if Rivera is ready. And Kurt Young talking to his bullpen. Rajay Davis 1 for 3. Had a double to left center in the 5th. Breaking ball with no bite. Count 1-0.
He's getting a little quick down the hill now and has been behind a couple of breaking balls and they've just rolled. Try a little fastball away, maybe a cutter. The last few curveballs have not been quality.
Not as much life on the fastball as he had in Chicago. He's 91 that last one. He's been up to 93 so far today. Crowd of 45,222 here in the Bronx watching the Yankees and the A's game 3 of this 4-game set. That was a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, 1-2. Might the 91-mile-an-hour pitch have been a cutter?
It might have been a cutter, but it looked pretty true. And Kerry Wood just heard you and gave you a little something extra there. 94, and a lot of options. Could bounce a curveball, could go with a high fastball, could go with that cutter.
The 1-2. Check swing on the fastball. Both teams tonight 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position.
Love the high fastball here, and watch Cervelli standing up. He wants it up in the zone, and he gets it right there. Very defensive swing from Davis. Now again, you can go a little bit higher, see if he's going to chase, or you can go with a curveball, bounce it.
Bounce that one. And Cervelli scrambles after it, holding the runner. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on here in the 8th.
Does a nice job getting his body out there and blocking it.
The 2-2. He'll get out of it. Ground ball to Jeter. He goes the short way, and Wood works into and out of trouble. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 big men left on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Yankees up by 1. Driving the game, why get a car when you can own a Land Rover?
Well, Kevin Kuzminoff in the top of the 4th inning. This will be your Land Rover drive of the game. A 2-run home run going the other way. Home run number 13 is your Land Rover drive of the game.
Anderson leads off against Breslow. Pitches inside. In the bottom of the 8th, the Yankees are leading 4-3. Yankees stop scoring after the 2nd inning. High fly ball, shallow right center, and Coco Crisp will put it away for the first half.
Next week, get ready for 2 big center stage premieres on Yes. First, Tuesday at 11 o'clock, U.S. Open, and Wimbledon tennis champ John McEnroe sits down to talk about his memorable career. And Wednesday, controversial Cowboys Hall of Famer Michael Irvin joins a candid conversation. It's GMC presents Center Stage with Michael Kay, only on Yes.
2 pretty good shows. Definitely tune in for those. Craig Breslow hits the dugout as Bob Guerin brings in a righty to face Nunez and Cervelli. Stay right where you are. Yankees will send up Lance Berkman. Just came up the DL today. He's going to pinch hit for Eduardo Nunez. And he is going to face the A's closer, Andrew Bailey. Good numbers for Bailey. Now for Berkman, this is his first big league at bat since August 15th. Turned his ankle that game. Spent the last 2 nights with the Trent team. And he hammers that one into right center field. He clubbed the ball up against the wall. Coco Crisp fields the carom, and Berkman with a pinch hit double.
Nice way to come back if you're Lance Berkman. First pitch fastball up out over the plate, and he drills it to right center. Off the wall, is going to get into second base with a double. Kind of the forgotten man here with the Yankees. The ankle injury, going down on a rehab for a couple of days. Nice first swing. Welcome back.
So his night is done. 1 swing, a double, and they bring in Ramiro Pena to pinch run for Berkman, and Pena will take over at third. And now Joe Girardi looking for more. Is going to pinch hit Jorge Posada for Francisco Cervelli. Now, because of the roster expansion today, Joe feels a little more confident doing this because if, God forbid, something happens with Jorge, they do have another catcher. They called up Chad Moeller.
Jorge has faced Bailey. He's 0 for 3 in his career.
When you have 2 catchers and you use the other one to pinch hit, you do get nervous about the last catcher standing. But now they still have one on the bench, and that's what the expanded roster gives you. So Pena's at second, and here is Posada. Swing and a miss.
Bailey, who went with a first pitch fastball to Lance Berkman, decided against that strategy with Jorge Posada. Good slider down and in. Sent up there to be a pitch hitter. Usually you're looking for a first pitch fastball to drill.
Andrew Bailey out of Haddon Heights, New Jersey. Rookie of the year last year. Beating out Elvis Santos and Rick Porcello. And he went to Wagner College, Staten Island.
Got a good fastball too, 93 on the gun, but it looks like it has a little more life as it gets to home plate.
The 2-1. Now Bailey actually had Tommy John surgery in college, and he's come back better than ever. Despite being right-handed, lefties hit just 148 against him last year. Righties 185. The 2-2. Strike 3. Posada down looking. And he does not like the call, and he points that out to Dana DeMute, and he gets thrown out of the game. Now the Yankees are down to their last catcher. And you see Robbie Thompson is trying to calm down Posada. But that is not a smart injection for Jorge Posada.
Well, you love Jorge Posada and his fire and his competitiveness, but you're right, Michael, this is not a smart play. Arguing with home plate umpire Dana DeMute. Joe Girardi's going to finish up the conversation on what Jorge said, how the conversation went. We get another look at the last pitch. It's off the plate, not a strike. Like I said, you love the fire of Jorge Posada, but not a smart play there.
Close game. Now you're going to have to deal with Chad Moeller behind the plate. And Chad jogged in from the bullpen, because he's going to have to go behind the plate and catch Mariano Rivera after warming him up. So here's Derek Jeter with a runner on second. Now 2 outs. Hot shot up the middle. Grabbed there by Pennington. Fires to first, and they just get Jeter for the final out of the 8th inning. Nice play by the A's shortstop, Cliff Pennington. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. They just nabbed Jeter for the final out, and we will go to the 9th. comprehensive highlights and analysis from this game against the A's. Plus, a look at the big matchups around the majors and how they affect the playoff race. Bob Lorenz, Kimberly Jones, the WB Mason postgame coming up after the final out only on Yes. New third baseman is Ramiro Pena. The new catcher is Chad Moeller because Jorge got thrown out. And the new pitcher is Mariano Rivera, who'll try to get the final 3 outs of this game. Those are his numbers, and they are outstanding as always. 27 hits in 47 2/3 innings, 9 walks, so 36 base runners in 47 2/3 innings. Here's Cliff Pennington, who made a nice play to just nab Jeter. And that one is a broken bat. Foul ball.
Nice first pitch cutter from Mariano Rivera in on the hands of Pennington. Chad Moeller just got called up today, hanging out in the bullpen. Now all of a sudden he's in the game. Good news for Joe Girardi and the Yankees. Plenty of history with him and Mariano. Caught each other, worked together the last couple of years.
The 0-1. 0-2. And the pitch. Grounded to first. Teixeira. 1 away. Let's head back to the studio. Bob Lorenz has an update on the Tampa Bay game. Thank you, Bob. Bob will have all the details on that on the postgame show, the WB Mason postgame show. Coming up in a couple of outs. Here's Coco Crisp. Crisp 1 for 4. Yankees lead 4-3. Holding on. They led 4-0 after 2. Actually, after 3. And then the A's chipped away with 2 in the 4th and 1 in the 5th. That's where we stand right now as Crisp takes a strike.
Well, obviously, you want to keep Coco Crisp off the bases. 22 stolen bases on the year. I'm sure Chad Moeller is probably the biggest fan of that strategy. Probably didn't get a whole lot of warm-up throws in the bullpen.
Right back to Moe. And the A's are down to their final out.
Not only a great pitcher, but a great athlete on the mound, fielding his position. Coco Crisp hits this ball well. If it gets by Mariano Rivera, it'll be in the center field for a base hit, and then things will get interesting. A nice job being in fielding position. Easy toss over to Mark Teixeira.
So it comes down to Derek Barton against Mariano Rivera. Barton 1 for 2 with 2 walks. He singled in the 7th. Cutter inside. 1-0. Popped up and out of play. Yankees looking for their 3rd straight win. 4th, they actually won on Sunday. 3rd straight win against the A's. You know what? 5th, they won on Saturday, too. I'm losing count. And they are trying to go a season high. 33 games are over 500. The 1-1. 1-2. So the A's are down to their final strike. Crowd room of 45,000, many of them on their feet. High pop-up and out of play. up the middle. Jeter snares it. Fires to first. Not in time. Game's alive. Derek Barton beat it out. Jeter with a nice play up the middle. Made it close. But Barton beat the throw.
Derek does a nice job going to his left, but his momentum takes him into center field and then does not have a lot on the throw. You see Mark Teixeira trying to stretch, makes a nice play, but Barton beats it. Yes, Mo. Clearly safe. Derek's momentum taking him towards center field, did not have a lot on the throw.
And now Kurt Suzuki. Rivera deals a strike. Yankees win this, that means they win the series and they go for the sweep tomorrow behind CC Sabathia. An afternoon game right here on Yes. But they need this out. The 0-1. Strike on the outside corner, 0-2. Once again, the A's down to their final strike. Burnett started. Chamberlain for one. Boone Logan for one batter. Kerry Wood 2 outs. And now Mariano Rivera here in the ninth. The tying runs at first. 2 men are out. Yankees up 4-3. And the 0-2. Cutter just a little bit more outside. 1-2. The great Rivera gets the sign, sets at the belt, and the pitch. Runner goes, pitch outside, no throw, and a stolen base for Barton. And now that's big because he's in scoring position, a little blooper, and it's a tie game.
Yeah, that's exactly what you worry about, the off the end of the bat. Broken bat, base hit, could be a tie game. Nice job by Barton getting himself in the scoring position.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The tying runs at second base here in the ninth inning. Barton leads. The 2-2. Driven the other way, foul.
Pretty good swing by Suzuki on a cutter out over the plate. Looked like he may have been guessing out there, going the other way.
This will be the 16th pitch of the night for Rivera. And the 2-2. Just stays alive.
Mariano saw Suzuki going out there for the cutter and decided to drop a little 2-seamer down and in. Suzuki does a nice job just fouling it off. But if nothing else, Mariano opening up the outside half again by throwing that 2-seamer inside.
Suzuki calls time, granted by Dana Demuth. Swung and a miss, and the Yankees win. 4-3. The Yankees beat the A's for the 3rd straight time. The Yankees pick up their 5th straight victory. As I mentioned, they are 33 games over 500. That's a season high. And they're now 17-6 in the last 23 games against lefty starters. A lot of information to digest. Stick around for the postgame show to find out who's tonight's Chevy player of the game.
Back-to-back 2-seamers down and in. Suzuki swings right over the top. Things got interesting at the end there, but Mariano able to finish it off. A lot of positives for the Yankees in the pitching department. A.J. Burnett, quality 6 innings. The bullpen did a great job. Joe Girardi in the stand.
They really needed a positive out of Burnett today. He certainly gave it to them. A season high, 8 strikeouts. And he picks up the victory, a much needed victory for him. Kimberly Jones is down in front of the Yankee dugout. She's got, he's there again, Mark Teixeira.
Twice in 24 hours, Michael. Bob Guerin said they had to find a way to slow you down. It looked like Anderson tried to pitch it inside, yes?
Yeah, you know, the first ball was really the only one I hit hard. The other 2 just found holes, and sometimes you got to be lucky, but he was pounding me in today.
3 hits, 3 RBIs. That's a good way to be lucky, isn't it?
Yeah, well, sometimes you have to be lucky in baseball. I mean, you know, we scratched and clawed our way to a win tonight, and A.J. pitched great, and, you know, we scored just enough to win.
I have a feeling there's a clubhouse full of guys who are going to feel good for A.J. tonight. What did you think was the best sign you saw, Mark?
You know, he really battled, and I thought his stuff looked great. I mean, I think his velocity was great. He had some nice break on his breaking ball, and you know, he pitched really well.
Your manager will tell us it's hard to win a 4-game series as much as he wants to. How does it feel to take the first 3 with CeCe on the mound tomorrow?
It feels good. You know, we have a great chance to sweep and against a very good team. And the 3 pitchers we just faced are great pitchers. And, you know, our offense has done a good job getting to them, and our pitchers picked us up as well.
He's been most of the offense, Michael. Take it away.
He certainly has been that. Thank you, Kimberly. So thank you, Mark, as well. Yankees win 4-3. The final out. Mariano Rivera gets Kurt Suzuki to swing over a pitch. Strike 3. A great moment, and they liked it in the Great Hall.